I am making a very bold statement, and this is why it's so important that it is not misunderstood. The purity of the spiritual message has been lost, forgotten, buried under the rubbish heap of transient mind-identified forms, conceptual distinctions, and preconceived views, associations to doctrines and traditions of the world. What do I mean by this? We have placed everything that you can conceptually think of before source awareness. We have put religion before consciousness. We have put our country before consciousness. We have put our social roles and duties, our relationships, our parents, our friends, our careers, our sense pleasures, our addictions. We put everything before our source self. The essence of universal spiritual teachings has been covered up by the mind. We, as being mind identified in the world, are the ones that are holding the obvious simple truth of the spiritual message back. This is done by our participatory energy and focus on everything but the essence of source awareness. We have done that out of fear. We are so hypnotized, caught up by the compulsive stream of continuous thought. It is as though if thoughts were completely gone from our mind, we would disappear. What would we be without them? We would be annihilated. But we know that is not true because our true essence was before thoughts. It's the space between thoughts. Most of us in the spiritual community are also caught up, sucked into the distinctions of popular books and their authors, clinging to so-called enlightened masters or teachers, holding on to doctrines or dogmatic pseudo-spiritual practices and rituals, belonging to this organization or group or that. The who, what, where, and when of space-time, content, and forms. We've been fooled into believing that they were real. What we can perceive through our mind and senses, these tangible things must be the real. And we'd be damned for anybody to tell us that it is all phenomena. We may entertain that for a little bit, intellectually, within the mental screen of conceptualizations, but never take it deeper into our being. This is a part of ego consciousness, deliberately refusing to see the bigger picture, the deeper underlying mystery of life itself, the way things truly are. True spirituality focuses on fundamental oneness. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. We have willfully forgotten the cosmic presence of life awareness. The flowing one existence expressing itself in the multiplicity of manifested forms. The divine behind it all. We've replaced it willingly with our unconscious mental identifications and distinctions. Truth be told, there is nothing apart from consciousness. Nothing can be taken from consciousness, nothing can be added to it. When you truly allow this to sink in, when you truly surrender to this realization, clarity naturally springs forth from that deeper seeing. Go back to where you came from. Let go and drop all the ideas you have held in your mind about yourself and about the world as a whole. It is time to deconstruct and dismantle that old paradigm and upgrade your consciousness. All of these false beliefs that you bought into, that you held about yourself, of being a separate, disconnected human being in a vast, purposeless universe, succumbing helplessly to the crude forces of nature, totally out of your control. This paradigm of destructive thought patterns only shackled you, limited you, defined you. How could you ever define the indefinable? The external does not govern the internal, contrary to popular belief. The trick is that you have to get outside of the conditioned mind that has locked you into this endless processing of separating and labeling and naming. Mental conceptualizations only appear to fragment the unified whole, the one reality, the totality. Truth or reality remains untouched and unchanged by it. For reality is the absence of separation. All forms, all images, all objects are just concepts. All beliefs are concepts in which the mind is attached to. Time is a concept of relative change, a movement of consciousness that separates the observer from the observed. Space is the distance or measurement of objects, providing spatial concepts. Pure awareness, the one that is the witness, the seer to all of these things, is neither a concept or form. All forms appear in unchanging awareness. All forms subside into it. That includes your body-mind and all the beliefs and thoughts you held about it, which is only an instrument for tasting self-knowledge and experiencing life in separation. The world is also within awareness. Everything that you perceive, everything that you felt, everything that you thought about and experienced are all in consciousness. Consciousness is the source where all of these things have sprung from. They will all return back to that emptiness, that stillness, that silence, that peace. The mind is somehow terrified by this realization that will do anything to escape. We have put a negative connotation on consciousness, making it out to be some still void, a vacuum, emptiness, it's non-existence. Not realizing the paradox is that that emptiness is really the fullness of all that there is, that everything came from that. Out of formlessness came form. Formlessness is form, and form is formlessness. It is what you are. It is not some empty void or vacuum. It is the field of infinite potentiality and possibilities. It is responsible in the source for everything that is. Awakening is the disidentification of pure awareness from the belief of duality, that you are a separate I, an individual doer, taking on individual doership and responsibility apart from the source or the whole. You are not a separate person, no matter what your conditioned mind and senses has tricked you into believing. No matter what your educational system, your parents, your nation, no matter what the world has led you to believe. Enlightenment is not attaining anything new. It is just a discovery of the essential truth about what actually is. There is nothing to fear. This is the message. You are the all. You are oneness without a second. There is nothing apart from that. Identifying with your true spiritual, indestructible, and indivisible essence is what love really is. It is what God is. Realizing this, taking this in, Embracing it with the totality of your being will give you unspeakable joy, silence, and stillness of being. This is your freedom. In identifying with your human form self, you will only continue limiting and deluding yourself. Have the courage to trust the divine process. Go with the never-ending flow of life. Come out of this human caterpillar trance. Break out of the cocoon of mental thoughts, images, and contents, and be transformed into that which you already are. That which was before names, before space-time, before forms, before images, before thought. The dark cave in which we've all feared was really the home, the treasure. We are that which we were always seeking.